What's up? We're back live at the Mass Music and Arts Summit. I'm Dallas Rose. This is Naughty. This is High Street. And we got our boy D Valor here with us. What's up, man?
What up, y'all? How's it going?
What's going on? So you're from the Beat Club podcast?
Oh, no, not from the B Club podcast.
Oh, sorry. I mistaken.
Yeah, but, I work in music technology.
Okay.
Working with entities like Beat Club, Timbaland.
Beat Club. Okay, yeah.
Native Instruments, too. And I'm on New England Home and Grown as well. So, luckily I've been able to blur some channels between brands, creators, technology, and, the land that we're walking over here where we got so many great local and rising artists all together. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You started talking a little bit. Sorry.
Go
You
ahead.
started talking a little bit about like the history and how it's changed. I know we didn't get too much into it, but you want to go on about that, like how it started for you versus now?
Yeah, definitely. I'm 32, so I've seen a lot of different things connect from, the whole New England scene as a whole, from, the mysteries of John B. from Rhode Island into, seeing Static Selector come up, from Art Institute and, really, putting on for Boston, Joyner Lucas, Terminology, and so on. And at one point, there was, a huge lack of industry opportunities over here. But in true New England fashion, we didn't wait to be discovered. We discovered ourselves. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, I'm really proud to see an incubation like this all together after so many years of all of us having to travel to different places, be able to go to the blogs, try to get the same looks that people on the Two Dope Boys are getting and World Star and all that. And, we all have our own community here now, and that's amazing,
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been a long time coming, and I feel like a lot of people said it today. This event itself is just showing out the differences in how it's changed. So
Yeah, it's really exciting seeing this type of shit going on, because this is what the area needs, I think, there's no lack of talent here. There's so much
that
great
was
music.
never the issue out here.
Yeah.
Just a lot of spotlights and when people get them, how they get them. But, doing that from here, that's what really has it booming. And, you have so much of the fashion industry here, too. It comes to, no second that, people always have had their eyes around this area.
yeah.
What do you think has been the thing that artists aren't doing correctly from your perspective around here?
Oh, yeah, this is interesting, because I A&R as well. I do consulting, and sometimes I'm helping artists in a piece of their process, or other times I'm taking them through a couple steps to be able to brand a product to get it through. And, overall, this is a sport, and it is competitive. You want to be the best. You have to compete with what the industry and the playlists have right now, compete with that level of artistry, and also, be your own cosign too. Mm-hmm. You want to go and work a record. It's not always about getting a feature. It's definitely about how far you can market it your way and getting it to the right type of playlists and different types of listeners that can really allow you to retain your own business. There's no difference in managing a restaurant's social media and managing your own social media. Either way, you want to call to action and you want to span that data. And we got free internet now, so the way the world works with all these towers, there's a fan for you somewhere. You just got to reach out to them and make that connection.
So, what do you think would be the specific methods that you think are valid and efficient for artists as for marketing? Is it just really good social media? Is there some advertising method that people should be using?
I would say overall utilizing data. So the advertising method is one end, and of course what you're close to and who you're around, all of that adds to. And what I tell people is it's 50% internet, 50% real life. You're going to go to amazing places like this because you want to be able to network and be in the mix, but then you want to work the internet just as hard. Wash, rinse, repeat, and continue. And I'm definitely somebody, I've gotten every major opportunity in my career out of the internet. Going on music industry forums, adding people, following A&Rs, understanding how to be really kosher with the conversations too and such. And over the years, once you start getting 10 years into this even more, you end up getting a Rolodex, and then you understand how you can make things happen for yourself, And we're in a different climate right now where it was harder before, so I think with all of us pulling each other up, it should be, no issue in New England and being able to get all the love we want to get out here.
Yeah.
What's your go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's your approach? Because it's funny that you said 50% real life, 50%
Yeah.
online. So what do you say is your 50% for online and your 50% in real life? Even just being here, how would you go network with these people? How would you make them your 50%?
No, you say what's up, You just kind of always gauge somebody off of their time. If they're in a rush or whatever, then, you may not get that full connection then, but, it could come around. Maybe you'll get a follow back. Maybe you'll be in another place. But it's being consistent, but being approachable and always, I would say showcasing your brand to its best light. And sometimes you're not ready for situations like that. So you should probably be going back into the studio and becoming as hot as you can, you know. On the other side of it, I'm always on a lot of posts. I'm understanding the new industry news that's going on and looking into who the tastemakers are. Because half the time I'm a producer, so half the time I'm probably going to be talking to engineers and producers more than talking about the artists, you know? And even for artists, sometimes you could just go and work with their producers and, buy something, get a lease or exclusive. And from there, you're able to create your own cosign, but not necessarily be on the back of too many people, There's a lot of different ways to approach it in that status. But, overall, you want to bring more value to your brand and what catalog you're getting from, the songs you're releasing.
Yeah, I feel like, especially with rappers, one of the problems I see is like a little bit too much sense of entitlement. Like they just feel like I'm dope. Somebody should put me on. Do you notice that?
Oh yeah, a lot. And a lot of people could be great rappers. I could meet a rapper better than half the people in our district. In New York with no pen and pad, probably doing some crazy spoken word, Malik Youssef type of stuff. You could have depth, you could have character, but besides being the dopest rapper, you need to have a really dope song. Can you make a club song without making it too much like a club song, but giving me good lyrics? I know J. Cole can, you know what I mean?
Right.
Kendrick has done it many times. Can you do it? You probably can, but you got to make that sellable. And, if you even look at markets like the UK, they're able to talk about real life, be gringy, gruddy, get a lot of that drill sound out and be able to, make that, somewhat rhythmic, understandable, danceable, But you got to be able to be multi-talented and tap into a lot of different type of genres. Rap is a language, but the trend is always going to be different.
Mm-hmm. And so you're a producer, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're making beats and shit like that type
Yeah.
thing. What? So talk about how you market yourself as a producer effectively, because that's a little different than an artist, I think, right?
Oh yeah, I love saying this because
Yeah.
people don't be understanding, and I'm somebody. I understand that a lot of people into technical arts can be, a little bit less outgoing, a little bit more shelly. You want to be in the box, you want to be in your engineer room. I get it, and I value that time too. But as a producer, be around the rappers.
Yeah.
If you're around the rappers, someone's going to put their hand up and work with you.
Right.
Just like if you're at a McDonald's line for so long, even if you ain't got no money, someone's going to give you a burger,
Right.
Really? I'm trying to stand in.
That's the way I look at it, man. You're around the right people, you'll get hot.
You get what you need. Yeah.
What do you think about the beat selling market right now in 2024?
Oh, beat selling market, it's crazy because I think that the older generation of producers had it a lot stronger and better, especially in terms of exclusivity. People would work with less producers and producers would get paid more. Nowadays, I don't have a problem with people leasing beats. I think you can make a lot of money. I've seen people create, $1,000 companies with that. So it's all love. Overall, if you really want to help these creators, we got to come together and be able to work with something that's not only affordable for them, but affordable for what royalties you're going to receive and put them in a position to gain some things. Because if a rapper buys a lease, someone else is going to buy that lease. Eventually, someone's going to buy the exclusive. One person is going to win in that whole situation. Mm-hmm. Well, the producer wins too, but, we're in the business of creating classics and getting records out. You're not going to create a classic over a lease unless it's yours. So, maybe that's a gray area that we got to approach, but, through collaborating, we should be able to figure it out. Because, if you're in Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, if you're on the same beat, someone's going to tell.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Right. I mean, but yeah, I think leasing is awesome because it's opened up great beats to really anybody, right? Whereas an artist coming up before leasing just probably couldn't get those type of beats. Because they didn't have the money yet, or they didn't know they didn't have a friend that made shit that good, And so exclusives for any artist coming up, I almost feel like it's a little silly to pay so much for an exclusive because that's a huge investment, Whereas you're still building your catalog
forever. I feel that.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think it's been a great change. But the downside though is that it's really cheapened beats. I think.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when we buy our beats from y'all off BeatStars and stuff like that,
Yeah.
multiple people can have like the regular lease.
If it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
lease,
Basic
yeah.
lease, right?
That's
And
why
then
they're so
afterwards,
inexpensive,
If I
yeah.
go do the exclusive, what y'all go tell those people to take their songs off?
No, they all still have the right to use it from their lease, but after that point that you buy the exclusive, nobody else can then buy a license for that beat.
Yeah, and that license can expire depending on how you're buying it.
It's 10
and-
years for most of them. I think I'd be seeing it on the thing, or I don't know if that's true, but
It depends. Like
Yeah, it
everybody
could
has
vary, it
different
could vary.
pricing and levels and shit like that, but
That's always the hardest part for me because, like, right now, even with the project I'm doing, I have like 2 or 3 songs that are YouTube beats. The other ones is all like originals, right? And
Yeah.
I really love these 3 songs. And then when you get like that, what is it? I don't know if it's demoitis or whatever, but you heard the song so many times, you can't unhear the beat. You can't go get the beat remade because now you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, even with Drink, I love that song, but I don't want it to be a YouTube beat because, like you said, I feel like it's a record. I
and
want it to
maybe
be.
get it remade. I guess sometimes that becomes a good answer. You get a good work for hire, but then you're going into a circle where you're probably going to end up owning that beat. And I could understand the digestion point where for myself, if I'm like looking at myself coming in right now, I probably would get a whole load of BeatStars beats because they're going to be the hottest beats I could find for the budget I have at the moment.
Right.
And I think that's great, and at least you could get something out.
Yeah.
You could redo those songs later if you choose to, or you just end up making more. But overall,
sure.
at least there's an entry point for someone to promote themselves, and
Yeah.
I can recognize that positive. But over here, like we've had a lot of like great artists who sometimes have fell into like only being regarded local after a while, even if they've done stuff. So
Yeah.
for me on the business end, really like putting more producers and artists together so they could not even have to go through those issues would be the strongest thing, especially places like here where you have a lot of great name producers who do work with rising artists, and you pay their fee, you'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I also like as far as leasing and like somebody else having the beat, like you got to remember like all that really matters is the listener, and I don't think fans really give a fuck. Like if they hear somebody else on the same beat, they'll just be like, "Oh, cool, that's that beat from that other song."
You know what's funny? Like in
That's
in
real.
Caribbean music and stuff like that, they do the same rhythms all the time. People use
Yeah.
the same rhythms,
Yeah.
and nobody ever gets mad that you hopped on this beat. But it's like here for rap, like if you have,
No, that's
or
real,
like
that's
you know what
real.
I'm saying? Like that's so crazy to me.
I heard something today. It was Shabba Ranks, right? And you guys know about the whole like reggaeton and reggae type of thing that's been going on
Yeah,
in the
back-
industry. It's a big suit, but Fish Market, the song that got sampled for that, they actually like figured out that Shabba Ranks used it way before anybody, and the person who made it is Bobby Digital. Bobby Digital, the RZA, hilarious. RZA got mad side quests out here,
Yeah.
but the RZA produced that for him, and Daddy Yankee acknowledged that after that song came out, we understood how to do reggaeton. Now, if you go back to that beat, it's just like, the Fish Market loop, and he literally took those sounds, layered them, called it a day. A couple years after that, everyone in Puerto Rico's going on FL and, rocking the same tempo and, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's history, but, we just got to acknowledge that.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. So, with what are you doing with B Club, and what does B Club like specialize in?
Well, they specialize in software and different types of community opportunities to incubate people submitting to placements, being able to access a Discord community where, people are able to obtain feedback and work with other producers, and then ultimately just harbor collaboration, whether it's a sample, whether it's providing somebody with some exclusive plugin access, anything that could vary from those pieces. Aside from that, working with Timbaland is a lot of different other ventures that he personally puts his hand in for Beat Club and a lot of other activations going around. I've been on this journey for a long time. Rest in peace, Jay Hatch from Ice Standard. I worked at Ice Standard for a long time back in the day too. A lot of beat battles and stuff. So overall, these communities and communities like this room, it's an important feat. If we don't put them together, we can't expect the industry to always come to us. So
Yeah.
shout out Beat the Odds. Shout out Paul Willis. Mass
Yeah.
Music Arts Summit. This is beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you stopping by, hanging with us today, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
Where can people find you at?
You can find me at Can't Stop D Valor. As long as I'm alive, the album coming out. I got one record out right now with Jordan Bryant, Zio Lynn, and Riva. Jordan Bryant's from Spillage Village, Dreamville, of course. And it's called Fallen Angels. You find it through. I got some more things coming out, and thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. And
Peace,
we'll be back back with more. I always fuck this part up.
It's okay.
We'll be back with more
And we'll be back.
in a little bit.
Peace.